Greetings to everyone from the upper room. St. Luke 10 verse 27 says, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself." Welcome to Life is a Test. This is Exploring the Parables of Jesus, Part 39. Maria, a young professional, had been juggling a demanding job, family obligations, and social pressures for months. She had been pushing herself harder, trying to balance everything, but felt drained and disconnected. Despite her achievements, Maria felt an emptiness she couldn't ignore. One evening, after an exhausting day, she realized success alone wouldn't bring her peace. Seeking renewal, she turned to quiet reflection, prayer, and scripture. Over time, she prioritized this practice, finding strength and clarity in God's presence. Maria discovered that true peace comes not from success, but from a soul at rest in God. We live in a world that never stops, constantly filled with distractions, noise, and endless demands. Work, responsibilities, and expectations often leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. Amid the busyness, it's easy to overlook the most important aspect of our lives, our soul. Jesus calls us to shift our focus from temporary pursuits to eternal matters. In St. Matthew 16, verse 26, he asks, "For what is a man profited, if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" Consider the gunman who, driven by revenge, slaughtered a family and was killed shortly after. What did he gain? Where is his soul now? No matter how much we acquire or accomplish in this life, it means nothing if we neglect our soul. The true value of our lives isn't measured by wealth, success, or accolades, but by the state of our soul. While the things of this world may fade or go strangely dim, our soul will endure for eternity. As we go about our daily lives, we must ask ourselves, are we truly investing in our relationship with God, or are we too distracted by temporary pursuits? The world constantly demands our attention, but Jesus calls us to focus on what truly matters, our eternal purpose, our soul. Our soul is the unshakable spiritual essence of who we are, existing beyond our physical body and transcending time and circumstances. It connects us to God and holds our deepest thoughts, desires, and emotions. The soul is the seat of our passions. However, if left unchecked, these passions can lead us astray. This is why it is crucial to examine the areas of our lives where we may be clinging to control, whether in our ambitions, our relationships, or personal desires. By surrendering these areas to God, we allow Him to shape our affections, aligning them with His will and purpose. When we do this, we open ourselves to His transformative power and guidance, enabling us to walk in His divine plan. F.W. Grant once said, "The soul is the seat of our affections, both right and wrong, of love, hate, lust, and even the appetites of the body." Our soul harbors our deepest longings, and what we choose to fill them with ultimately shapes our lives. Every person is born with an eternal soul, one that will never cease to exist. While the soul separates from the body at death, Jesus' greatest commandment in Matthew 22, verse 37, calls us to love the Lord with all our heart, soul, and mind. So amidst our busyness, we find that many persons neglect the well-being of their souls. It's often only in the moments of quiet reflection or even during challenging times that many people will pause and recognize the importance of nurturing this deepest part of themselves. Our soul is meant to be fully devoted to God. But what does this look like in our daily lives? Loving God with all our soul means dedicating our entire being to Him, our will, our desires, and every part of us. It goes beyond surface level affection or occasional acknowledgement. It is deep, that consuming devotion that shapes our thoughts and our actions. The love that comes from our dedication is not passive, but intentional. Psalms 42 verse 1-2 beautifully expresses this longing. It says, "As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God." Just as our bodies need water to survive, our souls thrive through constant communion with God. This longing should fuel our pursuit of God, not as in passive waiting, but as a hunger for His presence and His truth. Loving God with all our soul means seeking Him wholeheartedly by prioritizing prayer, worship, and meditation on His Word. Psalm 103 verse 1 declares, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless His holy name." Worship is not merely an external act, but an internal response of the soul, acknowledging God's greatness and giving Him the honor He deserves. When we surrender our souls in worship, we are aligning ourselves with the eternal, unchanging God who created us. Loving God with all our soul also means embracing His will, even when it's difficult. It's easy to love God when everything is going well, but what about when things aren't going as we planned? Jesus gave us the ultimate example of this in Luke 22 verse 42, when He prayed, "Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done." Even in the face of immense suffering, Jesus trusted the Father's will. Loving God with our soul requires the same kind of trust, surrendering our plans and desires to God, even when we don't fully understand His plan. So how do we nourish our souls? We need to regularly check in and ask ourselves, how is my soul today? What am I filling it with? Are there areas where I need to surrender my desires or my ambitions to God? We must make intentional choices to care for our souls, investing time with God, seeking His presence, and allowing His Word to shape our hearts. When we care for our souls, we become better equipped to face life challenges, love others deeply, and live with purpose. How is our souls today? What steps can we take to love God with all our soul and nourish our relationship with Him more deeply? Thank you for joining us for this devotion. We invite you to attend our weekly prayer meetings with the Upper Room family every Wednesday morning. Additionally, we welcome women to join the Wailing Women group on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. This is a great opportunity to connect with other women, receive prayer, and find encouragement. For more information, feel free to contact us on WhatsApp at 441-519-8087. As we reflect on loving God with all our soul, let's remember that it's not just a one-time decision, but a daily choice. It's about consistently choosing to seek God, trust Him, and surrender to His will. As we do, we will experience a deeper connection with Him and live out the purpose He has for our lives. God bless you.